We are live. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? I told you I'm about to start rolling them out. You know what I'm saying? A little behind, but hey, it is what it is. Listen, I got some clips here. You know what I mean? Women, they swear you're going to be back. You know, they will be back. Watch and wait. That's what these females, these leftovers, let's be more specific because there's a level of female that's even lower than the modern woman female. Leftovers. Now, we're going to play some of these clips and try to make sure we don't get a copyright. Anyway, love and light. Smash that like button, y'all. Go ahead, smash that like button. It's free. Share the live. I'll make sure I don't cuss. I can't guarantee the videos won't be, but let's have a good chuckle as well as learn something. Let's go.
I have a lot to say about men, but have you guys ever read what the Bible says about us? It is better to dwell in the wilderness, than with a contentious and an angry woman. Do you know what's in the wilderness? Do you know how dangerous it is in the wilderness?
Lions, tigers, and bears.
And yet it's better to dwell there than with a contentious and angry woman. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a White House. Well, imagine you're on a rooftop, right? It's better to live in that small corner than to be in a big, spacious house with a woman who can't close her yap. This verse is taken from the Apocrypha, the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. A lion? A dragon? Are you kidding me? Same book. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Have you read about the plagues in depth that the Most High sent upon the earth? And yet he's asking for any other plague than that of a wickedness of a woman. Maybe sometimes we are the problem. Maybe we're not as perfect as we think we are. Maybe we have some self-examination to do because the scriptures say differently about us concerning our characters. I know a lot of women have a lot to say about men, but have you guys ever read what the Bible says about us?
Next.
The bait and switch. This is when they say, well, I would never do that to you. And I'll always make you ham sandwiches. And I'll never restrict sex from you. I'll never take your children from you. I would never divorce you. I can't even understand why women do this. I can't stand those women. I'm not like those. And then she becomes that. This could be as simple as you like long hair and she chops her hair off. Or she blows up like the Goodyear blimp. Like she was thin and now she's not. Do you still love me though? Well, I guess I have no choice. Yeah, I love you. The bait and switch. This is when they say, well,
you ain't lying.
There is a massive difference between a companion and a partner. Let's just be honest. Can I help you save a lot of time, energy, and heartbreak?
Please.
Anybody can go to the movies with you. Oh! Anybody can go on a cruise with you. Anybody can go to a restaurant with you. Companionship is easy. You can get a dog and you got companionship.
I believe women are being socially engineered to hate men, and men are being socially engineered to be gay. Don't at me. It's just what I see. I've picked up on it. They're just making men more and more effeminate, encouraging effeminate behavior. And so to further that initiative, there's been a movement originally started by, you guessed it, a psychoanalyst. And that movement is called Single Mothers by Choice. And I'm going to let you hear about that on a recent CBS episode in which they were celebrating Mother's Day. And so they decided to do that by showing Single Mothers by Choice. Take a listen.
In honor of Mother's Day this Sunday, we're taking a look at a growing trend in motherhood, women becoming single moms by choice.
I said to myself, in 15 to 20 years, would I be more upset that I didn't have a kid or more upset that I didn't fall in love and get married? And I was like, if I didn't have a kid, for me, I feel like my life wouldn't be as fulfilled.
But you do wonder, and I'm just going through this in my head right now, what about the men that are being raised in those environments? So mom decides to be a single mom. She picks, in America, you can choose gender. I'm going to have boys only. How do those men fare in society? Well, take a listen to one such case.
Brothers Mackenzie and Cooper Schoenthaler were chosen by their mother, a doctor, more than 2 decades ago. She had them at 41 and 45 using the same donor.
Didn't see our parents cry, and
I believe women are being
Okay, I'm lying. Damn, you fine. And I'm rocking that.
So, ladies ask me all the time, Chevy, how did you get so, emotionally intelligent? How did you learn to control your emotions? How can I learn to control my emotions? First, I'm going to start by saying this. I truly feel like on this good internet, it's entirely too many people getting up here giving y'all like this fairy tale advice. Everything is organized. Everything just sounds so perfect. And they talk to y'all like not in reality. So follow me from what I'm about to tell y'all. It might even sound like it's all over the place, but that's because I don't got time to try to pre-record my thoughts. I don't have time to get up here and try to make it sound super cute, make it sound perfect. I like to talk to y'all from real time, from a realistic point of view. So I'm going to answer the question and think as I go. Just follow me. First, we're going to talk about emotions. From the beginning of time, since the beginning of time, women have always been naturally born brats. When we was little, I want that. No, you're not getting it, but I want it. And then we cry. Okay, here you go. You can have it. I want that doll. No, wait till your birthday, but I want it. Okay, here you go. I want to wear that princess dress. No, babe, you can wear it on Halloween, but I want to wear it now. My point is this. We've always been handed things to us since the beginning of time, whether it was our mom, our dad, just people in the world. When a little girl cries, it's like, oh my God, she's crying. Crying is an emotion. We've always been tended to when it came to our emotions, as far as throwing temper tantrums, crying, pouting, I want it my way or no way. That's first and foremost. Most women never grow out of that. So as we begin to get older, we start thinking that the world revolves around us. We're women. We said it. It goes our way because we are women. Then we start to take that mentality into the dating world. We start thinking that, well, the men should like us because we're the prize and we said it and we're women and women's power and who runs the world and all this weird stuff. So most women never technically grow out of that little girl mind frame. Most women still operate like young girls, little girls, still think everything is supposed to go their way, do not know how to hold real conversations. Women are still stuck in little girl world. We tend to think that men should chase us. Yeah, they should chase us because we're women and that's what men should do. So, well, Chevy, what does that got to do with you controlling your emotions? I'm going to tell you. So as an attractive woman, obviously, men are going to try to talk to me more than I'll try to talk to them. I'm not going to run and chase behind men because they're going to chase behind me because why? I'm an attractive woman and that's what men should do. So I've always had that upper hand with dealing with men because obviously as an attractive woman.
Her perspective. You know what I mean? I ain't never chased a woman my entire life. Again, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? Toot your own horn, but twice as many women as there is men, as attractive as they think that they are, they look like everybody else. And again, I'm not saying that she's unattractive. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I got to represent the men that can't speak, you know what I mean? We're watching this video. Got to speak for them.
You tend to have things done your way, or the ball is typically in your court. Most women like it like that. Most women say things like, if my man's not running behind me, I don't want him. If my man's not showing me that he's delusional behind me, I don't want him. Y'all basically want men to chase behind y'all 24/7. Y'all don't want men who stand their ground. Y'all don't want men who have boundaries. So it came a point where I ended up running into a man who stood strong with who he was, just like I stood strong with who I was. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of a challenge. Most women don't like challenges. Y'all like to talk to men that y'all can run over. Y'all like to talk to men that y'all can have everything your way. And when a man tells y'all no, y'all take it as either disrespect or y'all take it personal, or most women cannot handle rejection. So y'all don't handle it. Y'all just get out of control, delusional. Y'all get disruptive. Y'all get, y'all don't like when people set boundaries for y'all. In my case, I seen a challenge at one point when I was dealing with a man who was not necessarily letting me have things my way. And instead of me saying, oh, well, I'm going to block him because he should be chasing me, and I text him an hour ago and he didn't text me back. And instead of doing that, I'm like, you know what? This is somewhat of a challenge. And I like that because why? Iron sharpens iron. You cannot sharpen iron with rubber. Rubber is soft. Y'all like soft men. Y'all like men that y'all can run over. It comes a point where you want to sharpen yourself. So I'm like, you know what? This do seem like a challenge. Let me try to stick this out and see what the lesson is in this situation. On the days where I would text and I felt as though he should have texted back sooner, instead of acting out of emotion, like, oh, I'm gonna just block him. Oh, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you text me? Instead of acting like that, I just sat back and let it play out. Come to find out, the man was working. He's a truck driver. He's not able to just text all day. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't act off of that emotion. On the times where, if I didn't like something he said, and I would take it as, oh, you're being mean in girl world, but really it just was like, no, I'm just setting boundaries. I'm telling you exactly what it is, how I feel. Most women don't want men to tell them how they feel. And
I wonder when she said, like, I didn't take his, I knew to sit back and not take him texting me back offensively and to think about it. But, like, did she text him before? Like, who texts who first is what I'm wondering. Like, during that exchange and that big gap of time, did she text him, you know what I'm saying, to see what's up, or did she just wait till he texted her back? You know what I mean? And then that's how it went. But shout out to her for, I'm guessing she meant when she said, this guy's a challenge. Does that mean that she approached him? Like I see what she's saying, but she's leaving out certain things because she didn't want us. But when she said that this guy's a challenge, this is different, he's matching my energy, he's on my level, did she approach him? You know what I mean? And if she did, shout out to her. You know what I'm saying?
Most women don't like when a man tell you what it is. Y'all want to be told what you want to hear. And when a man does not tell y'all what y'all want to hear, y'all act out of y'all emotions. I was dealing with a man who kind of put like a stop sign in front of me. It was kind of like, hey, look, stuff ain't going your way. He never had to say that, but I realized that I was not in control of the situation at which I was used to. I was used to men chasing behind me, used to men dealing with my attitude, used to men basically just doing whatever I say because they obviously wanted to be in my presence. But when you deal with a man who is just as confident, just as sure of himself, and has boundaries and will show you that you will respect me, most of y'all don't want to deal with that. Y'all start calling those men sassy. Oh, I don't like him. Oh, he want me to chase him. That's not what it is. That is the only way you are going to learn how to control your emotions when you're dealing with reality. A lot of y'all don't want to deal with reality. Y'all like to deal with people that y'all can control and situations that y'all can control. And when you realize you don't have control over the situation, it's either y'all going to throw temper tantrums or y'all going to walk away and never deal with it. So I say all that to say, I learned how to deal with my emotions by dealing with the man who was more sharper than me. I didn't want to keep dealing with a bunch of rubber bands and rubber man and, oh, I got the upper hand. Oh, that girl got bars, but I didn't want to keep dealing with men like that. So y'all have to learn, the only way that you are going to learn how to control your emotions is by challenging yourself. If you want to keep going with the people that's not challenging you, you're never going to know how to control anything. I don't mind dealing with men who are certain of themselves. I'm not going to call a man who's confident sassy, because that's how y'all try to challenge people's manhood, by calling them sassy. They're not sassy. They just are sure of who they are. And a lot of y'all want to try to run stuff. And when you realize that they're not intimidated by you, or when you realize that they're not moved by your private part, or they don't care about how you look, y'all get upset because y'all think everybody should just drop down to y'all feet. I'm willing to be challenged and I'm willing to be sharpened. I'm at a place in my life where I want to learn. I don't want to just be stagnant. So in order for me to get better, my men get better and I get better because I learned the lesson in every situation. Okay, that didn't work out, but what did I learn? I learned how to control my emotions. Yeah, he probably didn't, let me run all over the situation, but I learned how to control my emotions as a grown woman. Now, as a grown woman, I'm not going to be out here busting out windows and blocking men and not knowing how to communicate and getting mad when they tell me what it is and throwing temper tantrums, you're being mean. And I now know how to communicate as a grown woman. And now I will only deal with grown men, so shout out to that grown man who had emotional intelligence, who knew how to control his emotions, who knew boundaries, who knew respect, and stood his ground, because all he did was allow me to know where I stand as a woman and not to throw temper tantrums and not to think everything is my way. And I didn't take it personal. I was willing to learn the lesson and willing to learn the value in all of those things that he taught me and things that rubbed off on me. I know this video was long and I can't always get good things out to y'all in 3 minutes. So it's really time to start the podcast, because it's really a lot that y'all need to learn. Y'all listening to people give y'all all this fairy tale advice, and that's why y'all stuck on square one. There's no growth. So,
well, you know what I mean? I agree. I hope she meant by, you want iron to sharpen iron, and you want a guy better than you. That means that you approached him. But again, we'll wait on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, Oh, is it Chevy? All right, let's go.
Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime in this game? You gotta have that dog in you.
Made in America. Floor seat.